A general once said that all wars are fundamentally the same. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Grok shit. That general had not witnessed the event on Eufrates II. Traitor Edward von Valancius was the supreme commander in the battle, a man of iron will, unfaltering, unshakable. I served in his personal enforcer guard back then, just another cocky kid who thought he was an expert soldier. The Emperor was gracious to me. He gave me a chance to realize that's just how wrong I was. Most of my comrades didn't get a chance like that. Oh, driven. At long last, Argenta. How did that update now? Anyway, the shuttles would have blocked out the sun if one could see it through the smoke of the manufactorum city of Sigma S13. As its heart stood the machine's cathedral, at its heart stood the machine cathedral, our primary objective. The Lord Captain showed us mercy by having the landing zone bombarded from orbit. All the shuttles carrying troopers and, more importantly, precious vehicles reached their destination. Daunted by our numbers, the enemy withdrew. That was the perfect moment for a decisive attack. With an armored vehicle force of this size, we had the upper hand. Upon descending from orbit, Sister Argenta inspired the troops with the very first notes of her prayer. Her singing was the Emperor's voice commanding us to fight without any regards for our own lives. After rousing the soldiers to launch a daring raid, she quickly captured one of the heretics' commanders. That was when we heard a starkly different voice from the Sister of Battle. Trembling with fury, she personally interrogated the... we can scroll. She personally interrogated the miscreant, pulling one poisoned confession after another out of him. When she was done, the world was purged of his impure breath. And she was the one wielding the flamer. The sight of that heretic writhing in flames was imprinted upon our memories, shining a light on the cruel darkness of our immediate future like a brilliant beacon. In the command center, the Lord Captain ordered his generals to... I guess she found out something regarding her mission. Interesting. Ordered his generals to proceed with caution with the support of comprehensive area reconnaissance. We were commanded to prepare our auspexes and commence the assault. We consigned our lives to small green vidscreens and their machine spirits. Whenever we avoided another one of the enemy's traps and ambushes, we would then voxcast their coordinates to the artillery gunners. While our comrades rained thunder and lightning upon the heads of those skulking whoresons, we gave the Emperor's peace to the rest, making slow but steady progress toward the city walls. Pushing through the ruins of sacred workshops, we looked with an awe upon machines that, up until that point, had remained forbidden to the eyes of laity. Those were palaces of incredible and frightening technology, void ship assembly halls, alchemical atriums, sacred arsenals, generators producing invisible fields unsettling to the mind, and scriptoriums containing knowledge of horrors best left undiscovered. Awareness succeeded. In one of the chemical capitals, we came up a shipment of cisterns containing hallucinogenic gas. The tech priest protested that the substance was not designed for warfare, that it was created for higher rituals. What kind of rituals are you doing with hallucinogenic gas? But the officers wasted no time pumping our artillery shell full of that gas. At last, we reached the gates of Documium 514, the threshold of the metal nightmare that was Manufactorum Sigma S13. However, the initial attempts to storm the dock shattered against the enemy's defenses. Magos Dominus Opticon T2 proposed attack sabotage. We could send small Skitari units behind the enemy lines and have them subdue the spirits of the arena's defense system. Thorvald, the fierce leader of the Space Wolf, proposed to send infiltrators beyond the... to send infiltrators beyond the walls to kill enemy officers and weaken the dock's defenses. The Lord Captain ordered to... Ooh, there's a special heretical fanatic option to do here. I wonder what it would be. Of course, I mean, if you would go full on heretical, you wouldn't raid the planet, right? You would be on their side. The other question is, can you do that? Or would that be the opportunity to betray your allies? The Lord Captain ordered to... Proceed with the tech sabotage. Right? Doesn't sound too bad. It was part of the escort for one of the tech priest crews that broke into the dock to carry out the sabotage mission. It's one thing to watch a technomed wave a sensor over a cogitator on a cargo deck, but it's another to observe a sacred tech ritual being performed under a hail of bullets and carpet bombings. The binary prayers, decryption litanies, and blessed crypto purification viruses did their work. Every turret in the vicinity instantly turned on the traitors, and the dock filled with gunfire and screams. When silence fell, the gates opened before us. Nice. The hacking way. The Skitari, singular Sectarius, also known as the Tech Guard and the Legion Skitari, are the cybernetic military force of the Adeptus Mechanicus of the Imperium of Man. The warriors of the Skitari legions are still technically human, yet each has been mutilated, dismembered, and extensively rebuilt to better serve the Omnissiah's will. Kinda doesn't sound too different from servitors, does it? Yikes. It took us many days to break through the metal heart of the Manufactorum. On the third week of the assault, the vanguard was halted and swept away by a salvo of plasma macro cannons. Scorning every canon of sacred engineering, the heretics had placed the hull of an unfinished void cruiser on trees several kilometers along. This leviathan of adamantine and plasteel barred our way. Lodge's Opticon 2 insisted that we retake the sacred machine, for the vessel had been taken and making for many decades, and its destruction would have meant a great tragedy for the Imperium. Oh boy, I wonder how long people work on the construction of a whole void ship. Probably years, if not decades, depending on the size, right? Maybe also depends on how many colonies are working on that. They are basically servitors with their minds intact. I don't know if that's better. Both doesn't sound like a fate I would want for myself, or anyone. The explorators are truly cruel. The Lord Captain commanded that the sacred vessel be reclaimed from the enemy's clutches. 43% chance. Failed. Having the sacred machine on our side could have given our offensive a sizable edge. Our orders were to the landing force to the cruiser's bridge and escort the engine seers to the main cogitator. Yeah, we just rolled really badly. Only one shuttle made it to the target. After losing many of its own to superior enemy forces, the surviving unit had lost all of its hope of regaining control of the ship's systems. The engine seers made the grievous decision to overload the plasma reactor in order to destroy the cruiser. The metal monstrosity was felt at the cost of great sacrifices. But then, not a moment too soon, a squad of space wolves arrived to their rescue. And... whoop. Kinda lost my line. The Emperor's indomitable warriors drove back the trembling heretics and gave the tech priests the precious time they needed to bring the machine spirits of the main cogitator to their senses. The cruiser was conquered. But unfortunately, we didn't retrieve it for ourselves. Battleships are so complex that there's a story in Rogue Trader that has a battleship was severely damaged in a war, and despite nominally surviving, it still spent much of the next century being repaired. Oh boy. But I mean, then again, it's afloat, like void ships are floating cities, right? Kinda makes sense. Slipping on pools of blood mixed with sacred unguents, we made it to the machine cathedral. A gargantuan hall breathing with the flames of 1,000 furnaces. The last bastion of an enemy army. That was where first faith word bearers, betrayers of humanity and unworthy sons of the Emperor. What could we, mere humans, possibly do to match their unholy, bestial rage? Use the faith in the Emperor! Oh wait, we're not playing on dogmatic. With the power of friendship. The Lord Captain. The Lord Captain devised a plan that placed the Space Wolves at the forefront of our strike. I mean, they can take a beating, right? The Emperor's angels themselves led the charge that day. Magnificent in their rage, they forged a path for us to follow, and even the appealing champions of the arch-enemy could not stop them. While we distracted the enemy with suppressive fire and a hail of grenades, our unyielding leaders charged the word bearers and tore them to pieces. We were the anvil of his wrath, and they were the hammer. They are ships that are easier to make and repair generally. They are non-warp going ships like local transport ships. Makes sense that you want a void ship like a warp ship be also more complex and stable and secure. And that's when it came. Doomscream. An ancient and bloodthirsty hellbrute, a merciless executioner forged from adamantine and keramite. That single foe was repelling our swords one after another, turning hundreds of soldiers into bloody pulp. For as long as that abomination lived, we had no hope of reaching the heart of the enemy cathedral. The dire-eyed Thorvald volunteered to track down and destroy the vile spawn, but fate had other things in store for him and his brothers. The Space Wolves pack was to be the first to storm the Machine Cathedral, and thus Magos Dominus Opticon II assembled a cohort of elite Skitarii and said that he would locate and eliminate Doomscream. The soldiers were whispering that he was willing to activate the so-called Guaranteed Annihilation Protocol. Is that a self-destruction one? A terrible and ominous rite that is as lethal to the enemies of the Omnissiah as it is to his faithful servants. Yeah, I just noticed the same, Alistair. We've killed multiple of these. Why is it so hard for a whole army? Why don't we just put Cassia there? She just deals with the whole thing. Upon arriving at the front lines, the Lord Captain led his retinue to hunt down this ancient killing machine himself. Come on, yes! What happened next would become legend. The Lord Captain at the head of his retinue challenged the bloodlusting heresiarch that had crawled out of darkness of time. He dealt the wicked executioner a heavy and mortifying blow, and thus Doomscream was rooted. The abomination's torn pincer fitted with an ancient and powerful bolter became the rogue trader's rightful trophy. Nice. Though 10 to 15 damage, yeah. At last, we reached the Machine Cathedral. We saw a yawning lift shaft left behind a colossal land-gnawing drill that had burrowed for kilometers into the depths of the planet. There, deep below, lay the last hiding place of the heretics' leaders. Hundreds of grenades, accompanied by promises of swift judgment, were hurled into the pit. Such was our righteous anger. The planetary assault was a resounding success. The enemy forces were shattered and broken. A small fraction remained in the Machine Cathedral, but the rest either had been destroyed or were destined to meet the same inevitable fate soon. The Lord Captain's retinue and the Space Wolf band delved into the shaft, headed toward the heart of the Machine Cathedral. We watched them leave with reverence in our eyes as we were setting up a perimeter around the entrance. We knew that the true outcome of the Battle of Eufrates II depended on them, and that our fate were theirs to decide. Let's do our best then, I'd say. So far, so good. Generally in lore, they're absolutely terrible to fight and can kill entire squads, but you just solo it. You've been an absolute hero in the Imperium for this. Nice. But yeah, I mean, as you said, we already fought multiple of those in the same fight with just 6 people, so meh. You kind of lose a little bit of respect for certain types of enemies. Let's have a look at the Machine Cathedral. And maybe we can uncover some Adeptus Mechanicus secrets they wanted us to not see and encounter. But I guess probably we will mainly fight heretics, which is also great. Here we go. Oh, it's not voiced? Sad. Yeah, well, sorry. I kinda expected it to be voiced. It's a cutscene, come on game. It seems like less and less is voiced, right? Like the further we go into the game, the less voiced scenes we have. Ah, one of my favorite themes, Beyond the Nightmare. The giant clad in dark crimson armor is in the middle of a sinister litany, his words turning into repulsive ethereal stench and flakes of otherworldly eyes. He does not notice your presence. And he looks insane. and cool and really corrupted. And if I'm not mistaken, see the guy just right behind him? I think that is our former Master of Whispers, or Theodora's former Master of Whispers. What was his name again? The former Master of Whispers. The one I found hot in the beginning. What was his name? Damn it, Ethan. Kunrad. I should have just pressed continue. Could have saved my face. The same cannot be said about Kunrad Vorkvir, who stands at his side. Thanks, Chad. You are way better at remembering names than I am. Which is not a very impressive feat, but still. The same cannot be said about Kunrad Vorkvir, who stands at his side. Ooh, his portrait changed. Look at that. Got an additional third eye, a blue glowing, and looks really sickly. His completely mutated turquoise eyes flash upon seeing you. It flinches, but remains silent, hesitant to drop the ritual. And Edward observed the sinister sorcery at work. You can feel the strings of surreal force emanating from the sorcerer's fingers and wrapping around the enormous disc of the drill. He's feeding its sacred batteries with his profane magic, as if it were the motive force, subjugating the tech priest's creation to his will. What is he planning to do with the drill? The sorcerer does not turn his head as his voice rolls over the room. I see you, mortal thing. I sense your meek minds. Very Tzeentch mutations. True. The additional eyes. I mean, also fitting that Tzeentch is corrupting Kunrad, cause looking for power, looking for change, right? The sorcerer reluctantly turns his burning gaze upon you. So, you are the one who was so eager to meet me and your own demise. Rejoice, brother Twilight. Today, you become the new rogue trader. Brother Twilight. That's a title I can dig. Oh, Kunrad. Vorkvir's deformed features twist into a bloodthirsty smile. Yes, master. I will rectify my mistake and reclaim what was stolen. Sauron speaking to Frodo. You cannot hide, I see you. That's what I thought there. True. And Edward examines the machine. The platform beneath the sorcerer's feet is the drilling machine's massive tunneling shield. This mighty mechanism can gnaw through underground rock, bunker bulkheads reinforced with adamantine, or anything else that may lurk in the planet's depths. What is in the planet's depths? The corrupted servants of the Deus Mechanicus scuttle around the heretic, muttering, Deus Mechanicus? Wasn't it always Adeptus? Muttering twisted prayers of ignition in attempts to persuade the omniscience majestic beast to awaken and rend the world's flesh. And Edward addresses the sorcerer. Do you have a name, or shall I simply refer you as the heretic? You know my name well. I am Uralon the Cruel, breaker of misbelievers, truth speaker, triumphator of faith, dark apostle of the blessed world-bearer's legion. Kneel and offer a prayer of gratitude, for your death could not be a worthier name. Requires dogmatic fanatic. Alistair, do you remember what the dogmatic option he was? They are the Dark Mechanicus, it's a spelling mistake. Ah, makes sense. True. No longer Adeptus. Vorkvir, what in the devil's name are you doing here? Vorkvir cocks his head sharply, like a bird, and laughs mockingly. I am on a path to greatness, Edward. True power, the kind of which you and Theodora could only dream of. Theodora was heretical enough that she also kind of searched for that power, I'd say. The edge of daybreak promised to weave me truly remarkable fate. Sure. Poor guy. Well, not really. I don't think we can convince him. I mean, look how far gone he is. Like, visually, how far gone he is.
You know, you are on a path to your own death, nothing more. You have almost reached the end.
An empty threat. I have the upper hand this time. My next prayer to the Dark Gods, I will thank them for letting me destroy another rogue traitor of the Von Valensis line. Another? You didn't kill Theodora.
If only you knew what powerful weapon awaits us down below. With it, we will make the entire expanse. Enough, brother Twilight. Your lips will not speak a word more than is a heathen's place to hear. Ignorance is their cloister. Let them remain trapped here. No more words. Thorvald, we must stop him.
To battle! The wolf let out a chilling howl and his pack readied their weapon, accompanying it as an unequivocal order to kill. With a solemn gesture of his hands, Orlon thunders with fury.
Let those who blaspheme against the true gods beg forgiveness and wane. Let their lips be sealed. Let their hands be severed. Let their souls be reaped and scorched.
Sounds like a fun fight. I can't read that. Oh no, are we splitting up? Why am I not taking this elevator down there? Confusion. Okay. I guess not the direct path?
A glorious fight awaits. Take heed with the silver-tongued traitor, for he is old, sly, and strong. But after the Allfather of the Wolves... But by the Allfather, the Wolves will spill rivers of his blood today.
The horrific display of profane sorcery appears to have filled Thorvald with joy and anticipation rather than fear. I guess Astartes don't do fear.
So, have you encountered Erlon before? No, or else his head wouldn't still be hanging on his neck. But my pack has heard plenty about his strength and ignominious misdoings. One can see the evidence of his malefactions all across the Koronus Expanse, like bear tracks upon fresh snow. We stalked him and looked for a chance to clamp our jaws around his throat, but the craven known well to hide beyond the backs of his heretical lackeys.
I need to drink. Sorry.
What manner of witchcraft was he attempting back here? He wished to hike the tunneling behemoth. If you hunger for my thoughts, Orlon is searching for something down below, in the Manufactorum's deepest halls. My warriors destroyed the energy found and silenced the drill, but the detestable Malefic still found a way to revive it with its heinous magics.
Another blasphemy. There are too many to count now. Pasqal's dry voice is rattling like a heavy vehicle chain track. His visor lights up a blinding green, and then blue, and you hear a metallic moan coming from everywhere. It is as though the Manufactorum itself was being tortured. Well, I guess they are kind of doing that.
So, what is Orlon after? What is he trying to unearth? Don't ask for, I do not know myself. Calcazar treats his allies like a Venezuelan mushroom farmer treats his produce. Keep them in the dark and feast them shit.
Did you just compare us all to mushrooms? How dare you? But, kinda right?
He didn't see fit to enlighten us about the secrets of Eufrates II, but it's no matter. Whatever it is, we mustn't let the loathsome Malefic claim it. Alright, I will deal with him. You're a brave one, you're not easily deterred. Good. Then find a way to reach the tunneling platform, while we give the mangy sorcerer something to worry about.
Thorvald exchanges glances with his warriors, and you could swear they all smile in anticipation inside their helmets.
Halbrand, you stick to the original plan. Take two brothers and go after Doomscream. Our scouts report he took the refuge there in the depths after being defeated in battle on the approach to the Machine Cathedral.
So we didn't kill it? We didn't fully destroy it? Damn it.
I want to take the unholy tin can that holds his traitor's brain back to Fenris. Good hunting. We won't fail you.
The eager space marine lets out a hungry howl.
Proudly treat the hunters grim. In chase of a beast of steel and blood, fangs bared, sharp, and thirst of prey. Let glory cloak their mighty gate.
Oh god, so many space wolves to voice.
Doomscream, he hides in this den. Step aside, Hellbrand. I will be the one to slay it. I reclaim this quarry for the baleful howl.
So I guess it's our team who has to retake it, right?
So, if Ulfar kills Doomscream, will that prove that the baleful howl lives? If it comes to pass, it will be the first to raise a cup to the proud name of this ferocious pack.
So I guess we are going to do this.
Ulfar, we set out to hunt the beast. Do you seek to best me in hunting, or forever lost? None are faster or deadlier than the Stormbiters. We will see, young wolf. We will see.
I mean, if we win, doesn't that also speak for us? Rather than the single Astartes? Oh well.
Luck be with you, warriors. Hide a Russ, Edward.
Off we go, though I don't get why we just don't take the elevator. Why are we not taking the elevator? Do I overlook something? Oh well.
Watch your steps.
Ooh, control commutator.
I
Let's
sense
see if we
something
can
nearby.
hack something. Come on. Or not. Ah! There's a grate, and of course Ulfar can't just walk through it, or I don't know, bash it in. Sadness.
I always keep my
Keep a
options
sharp
open.
eye.
Another grate. Why can't we lockpick it? Or, I don't know, really just bash it in. The lockers are full of work overalls, ropes and tools that are covered in seals and emit the strong scent of sacred unguents. Lift control commutator. The screen displays the elevator shutdown diagram. The two devices that prevent the machine from functioning. Ah, okay, so we can't use it.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Hey, cultists. Wait, where did we come from? Hello, cultists.
The first turn of the large threaded rod is complete. Wash the joints with blood.
Charming.
They fear to look. Does something trouble you, Lord
They
Captain?
fear.
I'll guide your vessel and lead you on your way.
I can't attack them preemptively, I think. Probably have to do that via dialogue. Corrupted Scutariuses. Scutari. The crowd of heretics falls to their knees and holds out their hands to you, pleading for mercy. The leader, a heretic with worm-like tentacles stirring about in one of his eye sockets, you, howls plaintively out of his vox. Edward von Valencius, conqueror of... monotone. Monotonism. Edward von Valencius, conqueror of steel and smiter of true flesh, we initiate the capitulation protocol. Nowhere under his chrome firmament and leaden haze is there a cogitational array capable of designing a productive method of opposing you. Ha! Damn right. Your indestructible legions have annihilated all who dared to stand in their way. No matter what we threw at you, it all turned to dust, which your servants then trampled to toil and suit. Our survivors are few. Mercy. We beg for mercy. But you're still heretics. What do you expect me to do? We can judge them later. We don't need to spill more blood here. We can spill more blood later.
Lay down your weapons and await your judgment. We will hold the tribunal once I'm done here.
Right? I don't think it would change anything. Probably they all are guilty and will die. And I mean, law in 40k. One after another, the heretics hand in their weapons, like a congregation bringing gifts to a terrifying god whose death alone could pulverize them. Perhaps for them, now that they've witnessed your tactical genius, oh boy, and unbridled might, that image isn't far from the truth. Oh, narrator.
Let us not dawdle.
Hey, and we got another level up.
I
Boy,
was
are there
told
many
that
costs.
Xenos were abhorrent creatures. But you do not look terrifying. You look unusual. As do I.
Aww,
Naive
Yrliet, don't ruin it.
child.
Yeah.
You are a monster to your own kind.
Oh.
Were it not for your third eye that sees Shael, the thread of your fate would have been severed at birth.
I mean, she's not wrong. But still. Poor Cassia. Alright, let's go for another level up. Targeted bonuses are double, let's go with that. It's fun. We can't improve fellowship, unfortunately, so... I guess agility for more dodging or perception. We can't improve fellowship anymore. We'll also go for willpower for resistance checks. Or intelligence. Intelligence. That's also nice for our class. Ulfar. Devastating attack sounds fun. Yes, we take that. And as always, more strength. We just have 153 strength. It's nothing. Come on, Cassia. Should we take another war power? But I don't think we need that. We're always using the same, to be honest. Path, Vigil Beyond, Waking Nightmare. Just looking if there's anything like for free. That's kind of funny. We didn't really use her as a Master Tactician, I think her second class was. The Master Tactician suffers direct damage equal to 20% of their maximum wounds. Yikes. But gains Master Tactician's Resolve stack of Tactical Advantage, which are 10. You know what? We have so many wounds and we're so dodgy. Let's go for that. We can't improve willpower, unfortunately, so we're just going to improve fellowship. Heinrix. Heinrix. Hammer of the Emperor, just like a damage improvement for everyone. I like that. More willpower for more Psyker powers. Yrliet. I think all those were not that nice, if I remember correctly. Go for that. Can't improve perception, so we are going to improve agility. Dodging. And pass, my friend. Ooh, Killing Edge. Makes it harder to hit, but more damage. And I would just go for more strength, I think. Just more damage. Of course. Pasqal is not that strong. Alright, do I have to fight you? Or did you also surrender? I think they also surrendered.
As it should be.
Traces of an unholy ritual requiring a human sacrifice. A grim reminder of the price exacted to create each demon engine. I don't even want to know how many
searching.
people they sacrificed here.
I always...